Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here, coming at you with a video that's pretty unexpected because I really wasn't planning on making any sort of video like this because today we found out that my grandmother, who has been sick for a very long time, is coming to the end of her road, and so the whole family, well, not the whole family, but several family members were together today talking with hospice and everything like that. And right before we went home, my aunt, or my cousin, mentioned to my aunt that she might want to have me look at her guns and tell her what kind of ammunition that she needs to buy for them, just in case anything were to happen. 2020, anything is possible these days. So I said, yeah, I'll take her guns home, take a look at them, clean them up, test fire them, shoot them a couple times, and maybe either get her some ammo or tell her what ammo to buy. And so I brought these guns home and found that they are just a couple of shotguns that she had that I didn't know that I didn't know she had them. I didn't know that these shotguns existed within my family. My aunt's not really a gun person, obviously, because if she was, she wouldn't have me take these guns in. So I'm just kind of showing these guns because I think they're kind of cool guns. They're old. I'm a really big fan of old shotguns. I like to collect them, actually, and I just kind of wanted to show them off, maybe do a little before and after, after I clean them, maybe do a little test fire video on them before I give them back to her. So the first gun is actually a bolt action 16 gauge. This is a Mossberg. I think it's called like a 190 KB. Back in the day, Mossberg and Marlin, maybe a couple other gun companies actually made these bolt action shotguns that I guess were actually pretty popular back in the day. You don't see them too much anymore, but a lot of them, some of them had internal magazines, and this one's actually kind of a pain. A lot of them had internal magazines, but some of them had these little 2-round box magazines. These are just hunting guns, and typically when you bird hunt, you only get 3 rounds, so 2 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber, which the chamber is empty. Actually, there's a lot of dust in there. This gun's been sitting in a case for God knows how long. Really don't see too much rust on either one of these shotguns, which is surprising. Got so much crap in here. Has one of these like weird choke things. I forget what you call these things, but they're like an adjustable choke, what like they put on old shotguns, because now you just have like different choke tubes and stuff. But back in the day, they had these like adjustable chokes that you had on the end. That also has a, I guess it'd be a compensated barrel. Where it just got these little slits on each side. So that's kind of interesting, and it has, just kind of your bead front sight, and then it has like this weird, just kind of like shelf. It's not even like a notch. I guess it's like a pedestal that you just kind of like stack the sights on. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. This one's a little bit rougher than the other one. Have no real experience with these guns. I did want one at one point in time in 410, just a bolt action shotgun, but the safety is back here, so it's got the little round colored indicators here. So red is fire, green is safe, and there's actually an S and an F on it. So that's kind of cool. If I didn't say it already, this is a 16 gauge, so I'll probably just give her a box of shells for each gun, because I'm sure that's all she'll probably ever shoot if she ever shoots it. So might give her a box of shells from my grandfather whenever I cleaned out his closet. Came home with a bunch of shotgun shells, one box being 16 gauge and a whole bunch of boxes of 12 gauge. I shoot 16 gauge, but I can spare a box for her just so that she doesn't have to like go and hunt down some 16 gauge, because that's sometimes can be a nightmare. The other shotgun, which I think is the nicer of the two, is a Ted Williams Model 200, which is basically a Winchester 1200 or 1300. I'm not really sure of what the difference is between the 1200 and the 1300. I'm sure there's a few minor differences, but Ted Williams is like the Winchester's brand for Sears and Roebuck back in the day. So, like Marlin and Mossberg and Savage, or a couple other gun companies, they sold guns under different brand names in all these different hardware stores like Sears and Montgomery Ward, and there might have been a couple other stores, but Winchester had the Ted Williams brand that they sold at Sears, and so they had like their 1200 shotgun, they had the Model 94, and maybe a couple other rifles or shotguns that they sold under the Ted Williams brand. But sometimes you'll come across a Ted Williams shotgun like this, or a Model 94 in 3030, which is just a Winchester 94, slightly different, maybe built slightly cheaper. But anyway, this is just a 12 gauge shotgun. Like I said, basically a Winchester. I always wanted a Winchester like 1200, 1300 in like a Defender configuration. They're kind of cool. They're these inertia driven pump action shotguns. So they have these this turning bolt, kind of like an AR-15, and that's how the bolt locks into the barrel, as opposed to like on a Mossberg, you just have a locking lug that goes up into a barrel extension. This actually twists into the barrel, kind of like an AR-15 or some other guns of a similar design. So you have your safety down here, just standard crossbolt safety. You have your pump release right here, which is similar to Mossbergs and obviously your Winchesters, but several other gun companies put their release right here, and this is my preferred location. And then of course you have a little elevator, a little trapdoor thing, kind of like a Remington or an old Winchester Model 12. A lot of shotguns have this kind of loading gate. I generally would prefer the Mossbergs, but these are not too complicated. So, and again, this one, try not to knock anything over, has one of those adjustable chokes, which I think is kind of weird. And then it has just kind of a rib and a couple of beads. And I guess these were like 4-round tubes. I'm sure, being a hunting gun, it probably has a plug in it. So I'll have to investigate that. Obviously, clean them up, maybe make them a little shiny. If there's any rust on them, get the rust off, but I didn't really see much rust. And then take them to the farm, put a couple shells through them, and then I guess give them back to my aunt with probably a box of 16 and a box of 12. I highly doubt she's going to actually take these to the range or anything and actually shoot them, but she might as well have a box of shells that she can shoot through these guns if she ever has to or wants to. By the way, if I didn't say it before, in fact I don't think I did say it before, but both of these are 2 3/4 inch shells only. 16 gauge is generally just 2 3/4 only. I've never seen anything bigger than that or smaller than that. But 12 gauge, most shotguns you have a 3-inch chamber. This is only a 2 3/4 inch chamber, I guess, because it's an older gun. Not really sure when the 3-inch shells became popular, but so definitely want to make sure that if she does go out and buy her own ammunition, that she only buys 2 3/4 inch shells. But anyway, that's just my little random video on the guns that I didn't even know existed within my family. I might do one more video with them before I give them back. So anyway, subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.